Coming up on Whose Wedding Is It Anyway? A modern South Asian couple
Simon keeps on saying I look like a genie.
walks the tightrope between conservative tradition
There's only one time in your life where you'll get this much henna on your hands.
and contemporary celebration.
She's not dressed conservatively.
In New Jersey, two planners have their hands full with two weddings that couldn't be more different. While in Toms River, New Jersey, planner Sonal J has a style that's more field marshal than cozy confidant.
I'm pissed right now. DJ, are we ready with the music?
She is overseeing a South Asian celebration for Saima and Amr, who will have 400 guests at their cross-cultural wedding.
They don't want all of the really traditional, conservative aspects of a Muslim wedding. And it makes planning the wedding a little bit more difficult for us because we want to represent the bride's modern point of view, but not forget the parents' more traditional aspects of wedding planning.
Saima Chowdhury and Amr Hayat are an interesting love story. Each is a modern, high-achieving professional, but they also share an ethnic heritage that reaches back 10,000 years.
My background is I'm half Indian and half Pakistani. And I'm also Muslim, and so is Amr. Amr's Muslim, but he's full Indian.
I'm learning a lot because to me it was always the same, like India, Pakistan, like it never made a huge difference to me.
We were born in America, and that is a huge part of us too. So that does mean that we have 3 different cultures involved in this wedding.
Saima and Amr met 2 months after first communicating on a Muslim networking website. Typically, South Asian matches happen fast, even when they are not arranged by the family. But Saima and Amr dated for 11 months before getting engaged, and that caused a little talk.
If it tends to be longer than 6 months or a year, you get pressure from your family, like, okay, so what's going on? Aren't you guys getting married?
Yeah, it
So-
starts to look bad.
Yeah, that starts becoming frowned upon.
In a culture where romance is expected to be whirlwind, it's no surprise that plans for the wedding get turbocharged too.
Our parents see it as it's their wedding that they're throwing for their friends to invite their friends over for the wedding of their children. Whereas Simon and I see it as it's our wedding that we're doing for our sake. So that's been a huge culture clash in a way. It's been like, whose wedding is it anyway?
Navigating the differences of South Asian and American custom is the specialty of wedding planner Sonal J.
Saima really ended up losing the battle with her mom. She really wanted like this 50-person beach wedding, and now we're at 400 people in this really, really nice reception hall in southern New Jersey.
Saima began planning when she got engaged, 4 months before the wedding date. But with only 7 weeks to go, she reached out to Sonal to help her stretch her $80,000 budget and weave Indian, Pakistani, and American tradition into a tapestry of love.
How are you? Nice to finally meet you. Meeting Saima in person is going to make this wedding planning so much easier. I have a lot of things to go over.
My first impression of Sonal is great. I mean, she gets the job done. As soon as she picked up the phone, she was like, okay, this is what we need to do. So I was like, thank God someone's in charge, because it's utter chaos if someone in my family has to be in charge. My mom, it's so funny because she has no clue what's going on. She's like, did Sonal do this? Did Sonal do that? I'm like, Ma, calm down. It's okay. She knows what she's doing.
My experience with American weddings is that when someone says something to you, it's kind of as a suggestion. And at an Indian wedding, it's almost like, okay, this is what needs to happen. Just be able to talk to your mom, you know,
make her feel a little
separately.
better. Yeah.
I'll just call, talk to her, and just kind of, you know, introduce myself and just make sure that she's comfortable with everything that's going on.
We're really trying to make this a very fusion wedding to make sure that everyone is satisfied and everyone's happy, and most importantly, that we're happy with it. And that represents exactly who we are.
How are you feeling that the wedding's only 50 days away?
Let's just say I hope you're doing a great job, because she's making me feel a lot better about the wedding, because I'm getting really nervous, you know, considering it's next month, so.
Most American weddings happen in a single day. South Asian weddings include multiple ceremonies and more than one reception in a celebration that can last a weekend. All this pageantry calls for different looks, so 2 weeks before the wedding, Sonal, Saima, and her cousins visit Dominique's Spa and Salon to try out both traditional and modern styles.
She has a tika, which is the middle part that you have to wear, and the hair really has to be done in a manner so that the tika can show and then the two side parts can show.
The tika is a golden interpretation of the customary red powder on the part of the hair, which signifies a woman is married.
So right now the debate is whether we want to go more modern or traditional and have her wear the tika during the ceremony or the tika during the reception. So is it going to be possible for her to do this kind of a side sweep, keeping in mind that she's going to do a middle part?
After the ceremony?
For the reception.
Saturday's reception.
Saturday on the reception.
It's Friday. It's actually the day before.
Mark your calendars. The Nika ceremony is on Friday afternoon. The Mendi ceremony is Friday night. Saturday is the reception. Got it?
Actually, my dress is...
Yeah, that's a story in and of itself.
It's white. I'm not wearing red, which is like the main dress. It's like going to an American wedding and going and seeing the bride wearing a lime green or something.
I think it's beautiful that it's a little outside of the traditional realm, but it's very, very beautiful. So it'll look great on her.
And how does your mom feel about that?
She actually, she likes it. She thinks it looks good, but she would have rather me worn the lego. The red. And
as long as her parents are okay with it, it's great.
Okay, let me help you with this. So now that we know what your dress is going to look like.
Right.
Okay. And you showed me these styles here. Okay. Did you want to wear your hair up, or were you looking at
I was
wearing it
hoping
down?
to wear my hair down on Friday.
Okay. You can go ahead and wear it in the middle. We give you a nice big wave. So now we know what we're going to be doing for your ceremony. We're going to wear your hair down. We're going to give you some body and some nice movement, and it's going to work really nice. Okay, so now we're going to talk about what we're going to do for the reception. Do you like this swept over like this?
This is becoming such drama.
Her hair looks so beautifully when it's parted to the side that it's kind of like, do you want the beautiful hair or do you want the traditional jewelry?
Oh my God, this looks so gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
I absolutely love my hair. This is exactly what I envisioned. This is exactly like that. It's perfect.
Saima and Amr are planning what they call a fusion wedding, which marries South Asian tradition and American celebration. And nothing says party like cake.
Because we're trying to incorporate Western and Indian and Pakistani traditions into our ceremony, our cake is not going to be a cake for everyone.
We are in Cake Diva's Cake Art Gallery. We're cake designers, confectionery artists, if you will.
Yeah, the cake's basically for me, and that's why I get to pick it.
Come in! Hi,
I'm Saima.
I'm Charmaine. Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Amr, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm gonna go get your cake samples ready and just talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, great.
The cakes on display are inedible prototypes, so Charmaine has to prepare flavor samples to taste. Meanwhile, Sonal finally shows up, just a little bit late.
Hey, you made it.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I finally made it. Hey Charmaine, I'm here. It's Sonal. Charmaine is a little nuts.
I like big stuff. Heavy drama for your mama.
What about the flavor?
I really love chocolate. I know chocolate's not a traditional wedding flavor, so I'm willing to mix it up a little bit.
Well, I'm here for the non-traditional, okay?
Hello.
Look at the smile on his face.
You see?
So
Because you know
excited.
we have two different types of chocolate.
Yeah.
One is red velvet, and the other is like old-fashioned chocolate. It's very, very moist. It has massive melted chocolate into the batter of the cake. Hopefully they'll want something with a little bit of their heritage in it. I think that would be a nice touch.
We're trying to make this a fusion wedding, so what we're trying to do is have an American cake, but with Indian design, and maybe top it off with like a Muslim dome.
We do Afrocentric cakes, we do Indian cakes forever and 100 days, we do Muslim cakes, we do Chinese cakes, Japanese cakes, you know, all
I
kinds.
love Charmaine's manner. She's absolutely crazy and fun.
Hello.
She has a lot of life, she has a lot of passion, which is important. All right, can we eat?
Yeah, baby, let's get to it.
For Amr, it's not the size or the style that matters, but the taste.
I've been to too many weddings where the cake tastes like crap.
How's the red velvet?
What I like to do is put a cake in my mouth and like squish it. To me, what was important was what I eat. Once I put it in my mouth, the design's gone, but the flavor's still there.
Okay, so what's the verdict?
I think it's gonna be chocolate all the way with the buttercream topping.
Yeah, baby! That's what I'm talking about!
Mission accomplished.
That sugar does something to me.
Coming up, a botched custom wedding gown has the bride buying off the rack.
Our sales lady opened the box with a box cutter and ripped through the dress. I'll be wearing 3 dresses for my wedding. One's for the wedding ceremony itself, one's for the mehndi ceremony, and then one's for the reception.
Saima is wearing a green 2-piece linga for what is called the nikah, a small Muslim ritual held at her parents' home on Friday afternoon. This silk creation was a gift from the groom's family. The saffron yellow dress for the mehndi ceremony on Friday night was also a gift, and the bright color signifies festivity and fertility. But it's her $2,400 gown for the reception on Saturday that has proven to be a problem.
So today I'll be trying on
I'm good. How are you?
I'm trying it on for my mom and Sonal because they haven't seen it yet, and this is the one that I had to get off the rack and stuff. So I'm really anxious to hear their opinion about it. You know, considering that, you know, it wasn't the dress that I wanted. When I ordered it 6 months ago, it was supposed to be coming custom made from India. The first dress that came in, our sales lady opened the box with a box cutter and ripped through the dress. That should have been a red flag for me. The second time the dress came, it was for a size 12 girl. And on top of that, I asked for white. It was in the darkest champagne you could absolutely imagine. They said, fine, we'll do it again. Absolutely not what I wanted. Still, the color is the same as the second dress. I asked for a mermaid type bottom for the skirt. It's an A-line. We can make it into a mermaid, we just have to take it in by the knees. That's retarded. And to top it off, it had pen marks all over the bust area. Pen marks. So that's basically what happened with my dress. Are you guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
Are you gonna give me your honest
We're ready
opinion?
for all this.
All right, here we go. Off the rack, a couple days ago.
Saima, you still look beautiful. It's gorgeous. It really is. What do you think, Auntie?
I did like the other one, but what can we do now? We don't have any choice.
Saima may feel a little let down with this mass-produced gown, but when her veil goes on, it still has the power to remind her mother what is happening in just a few days.
It's okay.
I'm happy and I'm sad at the same time. It's like I'm losing her.
It's okay, Mom. Trust me, you're not gonna lose me.
And believe me, her dad will be more emotional than me.
We could joke around and call him the Pakistani Godfather because he's so tough all the time. But oh my God, when he just we mentioned something about the wedding and the other day, and he just started bawling. I've never seen my dad
He
cry.
cried so loudly. Actually, I never seen him crying. You know, that's the first time. She's beautiful.
Oh, Mom.
No matter what she wears, she's beautiful.
5 days before the wedding, it's time for an unusual run-through. Today, Saima and Sonal will meet with the artist who will adorn her hands and arms with mehndi in an evening ceremony after the wedding.
Hello. Hi. How are you? You guys ready to get some henna on my hands?
Yeah. Definitely.
The henna paste is painstakingly painted on using a pinhole applicator. This embellishment has been part of Indian bridal custom for more than 5,000 years.
I know that I really like traditional, but the one thing I don't like about traditional is when you do the, I call them color blobs. I like it to continue with a paisley type design.
I can manage that. I can just design on top of it.
I'm pretty simple.
Okay.
Can you show her like how far up on the arm you want this?
Well, I definitely don't want it all the way up here, but I would like for it to be continually heavy up to here, and then maybe trail off in some sort of paisley design.
Okay.
The entire decorative process takes about 90 minutes, and when it's done for real in Saima's mehndi ceremony, it can last for up to 4 weeks.
How do you know when you start out what design you want to be doing? Imagination, creativity?
Creativity. I'm doing it for 10 years, almost.
There's only one time in your life where you'll get this much henna on your hands, and that's only when you're a bride. One thing I noticed that a couple of brides had done is that they put their groom's name somewhere in it, and like as a fun thing to do after the wedding's over, they would try to make the groom find where his name was.
Wow, if I wasn't sitting here next to you, I would never be able to know that that's where, you know, she kind of put his name.
Exactly.
Tradition dictates that wedding night romance can't start until the groom finds his name on her hand.
This looks beautiful. Are you now starting to feel like a bride?
I am. I'm excited.
Coming up, an entertainment snafu nearly causes an international incident.
Get her off the stage. Get her off the stage. Get her off the stage. Seriously. Saima and Amir are Muslim, and their ceremony, it's called the nikah ceremony.
Because we're having the nikah, which is the wedding ceremony, here at my house, and the mehndi ceremony here at my house following it, we need to make sure the timeline is very, very straight onto the point and we're not late.
Come over here.
The nikah ceremony is anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. And the bride and groom have to act and behave very traditionally. And it's basically the main core family members getting together with the bride and groom.
Imam has just asked the names of the bridegroom and the brides.
The bride and groom are kept in separate rooms where each will be asked in turn to affirm their acceptance of their future spouse.
Imam has authorized me to come to you and to seek your consent that you accept Amir Muhammad Hayat. This is required to ask you 3 times. Do you accept Amir Muhammad Hayat?
I accept that.
Saima Chaudhary, do you accept him as your husband?
Yes, I accept him as my husband.
Do you accept him as your husband?
Yes, I accept him as my husband.
Okay, congratulations.
I didn't really feel anything until I was having to repeat what the imam was saying, and I was like, wow, this really means I'm marrying her.
After pledging their acceptance separately, the couple is officially married. Then, after each has given their consent, they are brought together for a transaction. In the old country, the bride's family would give money to the groom's family, and the groom's family would give the bride gifts of gold. But today, Saima and Amr are exchanging rings.
At this point, I can't imagine not being without Saima or not having her in my life, because she is my best friend, my fiance, and my love.
Instead of a kiss, in an act called pool panane, the bride and groom place garlands around each other's neck, signifying happiness for the future.
The thing that convinces me that Amr is definitely the right person for me is I laugh with him, cry to him, I do everything, and at the end of the day, it's like I feel so at peace.
But this is only the start of their amazing celebration. After their nikah ceremony comes the second part of this festive day.
The mehndi ceremony is when we get most of the people together, and that's going to include about 150 people.
If I can have everybody just clear the path just a little bit.
I've decided to ride the horse to the mehndi in a procession called the Barath. I wasn't too keen on it, but this is important to her again, and it's not going to kill my day unless the horse throws me off, but I'll go along with it. I'm okay with it.
Maybe this is where the idea of a prince riding in on a white horse got started. The guests file into a tent in the backyard, which has been decorated in Indian splendor. After a prayer, it's time to celebrate. Saima is carried in an ornate box called a doli. This symbolic gesture is meant to recall the old custom of a bride's brother giving her to the groom. The bride and groom are reunited, and the mehndi artist begins the meticulous task of adorning Saima's arm. Guests offer gifts and good wishes in a party atmosphere, but something is missing.
Can you just play some upbeat music? You know, the thing is, when I'm with the DJ or when I'm with the vendor and the bride gives me that look like,
I feel like something needs to be going on.
Saima is one of those brides that she can exchange a look with me and I know what she's thinking. It's like he's probably the worst DJ I think I've ever worked with.
I've never had a wedding in my family where we've had dancing, so I'm not quite sure how some of my family members, especially those that are more religiously conservative, are going to take it.
We're at a Muslim wedding trying to get people to dance. Hello.
Finally, the very special entertainer arrives, an hour late.
You need what, brown? Here, lip liner. All right, tell me how long. We got another 10 minutes with the belly dancers, guys.
Then it's time for a dance as old as South Asia itself. But it doesn't take long for a little unveiling to cause a big problem.
The belly dancer was performing, and I guess there was just a point where she turned around and she took off the scarf, and of course Saima and her family and Amar's family just thought that it was just over the top.
Get her off now.
Okay, get her off the stage, get her off the stage, get her off the stage, seriously.
Thank you, Laura, from Belly Trance.
So the program turns to something a little less controversial, but there are bound to be comments tomorrow.
There are going to be some people that are going to be offended, and there might be some disapproving glances, but I think that they're fine with it. I think that Saima and Amir are fine with that.
It's day 2 of Saima and Amar's wedding celebration, and the bride is getting blinged for her reception. The hairdresser places the tikka in a manner that merges tradition with modern style. But Amar isn't so sure about his headgear.
Because when I got this hat, it felt like it stuck to my head much better. Simon keeps on saying I look like a genie. I was like, well, I'm here to grant all your wishes.
Today's reception will be less about satisfying family obligations and more about celebrating their happiness in an event that mirrors the duality of their lives.
Please introduce the first time ever as Mr. and Mrs. Amar and Saima Hayat. Let's give them a big, big round of applause. Make some noise!
Oh, she looks absolutely stunning. I mean, every day I fall in love with her, but like just today it's just mesmerizing.
At a South Asian wedding, at the end of the day, if the bride and groom are happy, that's one thing, but sometimes it's more about their parents, and if the parents are happy and they have a smile on their face, that's what really gives me that sense of accomplishment, because in the end, even the kids, even the bride and groom are there to be able to do it for their parents.
Saima and Amar's reception pays tribute to the custom of their homelands, but its inclusiveness is what makes it 100% all-American.
We're going to take a piece of this and a piece of that. It's more of like we're creating everything that we like.
Some of the more traditional Western things that Saima and Amar are doing is a cake cutting ceremony, grand entrances. They're going to be doing a first dance, toasts, speeches. I think, surprisingly, everything turned out really, really well, especially with their first dance. They normally don't do a first dance, or they're not supposed to do a first dance. And Saima and Amar, they were like, perfect. It turned out really well.
I think Sonal did an amazing job. The fires that came up, she put out so quickly. I don't know if I would seriously do this by myself. I could not have.
Love you. I love you. All right, let's get it one.